Hi, welcome back to my channel. For today's fall recipe, apple cider is going to be the star of the show. I'm going to be taking this apple cider and reducing it on the stovetop until it becomes a syrup. And then with that syrup, I'm gonna put half of it away for like coffee drinks throughout the week. And then the other half, I'm gonna be turning into an apple cider caramel sauce. The caramel sauce will be great on top of anything like ice cream, any pies, any even like cheesecake, caramel apples. You can dip the apples directly into the apple cider caramel. So that would be delicious. And there's just so many things you can do with caramel. So I'm gonna be making an apple cider caramel. I've been seeing it on TikTok quite a bit and I'm like, oh, that sounds really good. So 2 things with 1 main flavor, apple cider. Okay, the first thing you're gonna need is something that you can boil down all the apple cider on. We want it to become really concentrated in a syrupy consistency. So we're gonna be simmering it on the stovetop for quite a while. I'm not sure exactly how long it's gonna take, but you just let it go. You wanna stir it occasionally and just get off as much of the extra liquid as you can. I'm gonna be using my Dutch oven because it's very sturdy and I know that it can handle quite a bit of heat for a prolonged period of time. This recipe is also gonna be great because it will kind of work as a simmer pot. I made one of those about a week ago with apples and oranges and cinnamon and some vanilla too, and that made my house smell incredible. And since this is going to be going for so long, it will definitely get up into the air and make your house smell like apple cider. So there's a second benefit to making this as well. So first thing I'm going to do, pour in this whole bottle. Just like that. It smells so good. So we're going to do that, and we're going to turn on our oven. And I'm gonna put that on a higher level until it starts to boil, and then I'll turn it down to a simmer. And we'll just let that simmer, stirring occasionally. And I will let you know how long this takes. It's currently 12:57. So let's see how long this actually takes to completely simmer down. Here it is at the beginning. Okay, it's been about an hour. It smells delicious in here, but it's only gone down about a half of what it was. So we're just gonna keep on going until it gets to the right consistency. Okay, just hit the 2-hour mark. It has gone down quite a bit, but it still needs a little bit longer. It is still a little too liquidy. It is finally done. It took about 2.5 hours to get to here, but it is looking good. It's finally starting to stick a little more to my spatula. Okay, and this is looking good. It is reduced down, and now it is ready to let it cool for a tiny little bit. And then I'm gonna measure out a 1/2 cup, and that's gonna go into our caramel that I'm gonna be making. And then the other little bit I'm gonna be putting in a container so I can have it with my morning coffees. Okay, it is time to get this all put into its individual containers. First, I'm gonna get my 1/2 cup out because I for sure need a 1/2 cup for my caramel sauce, and then I'll put the rest in my little saved jar of, this was jam, and I will put this in the refrigerator for my coffees. I need to be really careful when I'm doing this because it's still quite hot. I don't want to drip either, so. And then I'm actually, that's a little open. Go down here and dump out some until I get a 1/2 cup. Add a bit more. Okay, awesome, so there's that. And then the rest can go in here. This looks delicious. It's this beautiful ambery color, and it made my house smell incredible. My entire house smells like apples and cinnamon. So definitely an extra benefit of making this. Very slow, to not spill. Oh yeah, this is gonna be enough for several days of coffee. Just look at the color of this. So here is my sauce for coffee. Okay, now it is time to start making the caramel sauce. So I need first my 1/2 cup of the apple cider that we just made and a cup of brown sugar. Careful that it doesn't splash up at you because that would hurt. And I'm gonna get this going on medium heat and stirring it until it is completely dissolved. And I want it to be boiling for about 3 minutes before I add anything else, so. Okay, and it's starting to boil, so we're gonna let this go for 3 minutes and then add some cream. Okay, it has been going for 3 minutes now, so we're gonna start to add a 1/2 cup of cream in this as we're stirring. And we're going to let this go for 1 more minute. Turn down the heat to a simmer and mix that together. Make sure it's all incorporated and keep moving it around. It's starting to smooth out. Okay, this is looking great. So now I'm gonna start adding butter. I have 4 tablespoons of butter and we wanna add it 1 at a time. Make sure when you're dropping it in, you're careful. So let one dissolve and then you add in the next one. Keep splashing up a lot. Keep everything moving. Okay, 3. And the last little tablespoon, 4. Keep stirring that around until everything is completely incorporated, and then we are gonna actually bottle it up right away. We don't want it to wait and start to thicken in here. It'll be a lot thinner at first, and as it cools, it will change consistency. And if you ever want it to be easier and more liquidy to pour on things, you can always reheat it up a little bit. Eat it most of the time is with carameled apples. Love this kind of season. Oh, smells incredible. Okay, the last little thing you need to do before you're done is add some salt, because we're gonna make this a salted caramel. So depending on how salty you want it, add your desired amount and mix that into so that can all dissolve in there. This is looking incredible. We're gonna take it off the heat and then we're gonna put it away in another one of those jam jars. I love having these. I'm gonna need to get some more jam though, because I'm starting to run out of these. I'm using a bunch of them right now. Their caramel should look like this. I got my caramel sauce done now too. I got it in this jam jar the same way I did with the syrup. And just look at the difference between the colors. The syrup is definitely a more ambery color. This syrup definitely has just a intense apple smell, and then the caramel sauce has a more subtle one. So I'm going to get everything all cleaned up and let the caramel sauce cool down a little bit. And then I'm gonna try both of these out. I'm gonna make a cold foam coffee. I'm gonna try the caramel sauce out with some sliced apples. First, I'm gonna try out my apple cider syrup, and I'm going to make some cold foam. Now in a video a week ago, I tried a bunch of different kinds of pumpkin spice syrups, and those turned out really good. All the syrups tasted delicious, but I only had half and half and not heavy whipping cream, and so it didn't really get that cold foam texture on top. But I do have some heavy whipping cream now, so we're gonna try it with this, and hopefully it will go a lot better than my cold foam from the last video. First, I am going to take about a tablespoon of our apple cider syrup, and I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of my heavy whipping cream, and we are gonna whisk that all up. Yep, this is definitely giving that same texture as what you would get at, let's say, a Starbucks. So definitely use heavy whipping cream and not half and half if you're attempting to do this. Okay, that is looking good. You don't want to get it overly whipped because we're not turning it into whipped cream. So I'm gonna add my coffee. Awesome. And then my foam. This is looking delicious. Get all of out of there. You could even take this, make the cold foam, and then drizzle it with the caramel sauce on top. That'll be good. I'm not gonna do that today, but maybe as a nice sweet treat tomorrow, I will try that out. Let's try the cold foam first, just to see how this tastes. Ooh, that's really good. You can definitely taste the apple showing through. It has that really nice warm seasonings that are in apple cider. It's really good. I really like this. I could see just trying the syrup alone would be like very pungent and stuff, very concentrated. So you definitely want to mix it in with something else, but let's give it a try with coffee. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. The flavors come together very nicely, and it definitely gives some sweetness to the coffee without it being overpowering, and it just smells so good. I love the fall season and all the flavorings that go along with it. So this definitely brings you right into that fall season feeling. So very fun drink. I really like it, and I will give the apple cider caramel a try. Okay, so I have a bunch of sliced up little apples, and we're just gonna dunk it in. So this is kind of apple on apple. This is very good. The caramel sauce is delicious. You can get definitely hints of that apple flavor. It's not overpowering by any means, but it definitely has that flavor. This would be really good on top of ice cream or on top of apple pie with ice cream and then this drizzled on top. Oh, that would be so good. Have to give that a try at some point, but highly recommend both of these recipes. If you're doing one, it's very easy to just add on a little bit and do the caramel sauce, or if you're just wanting to do the caramel sauce, you can just reduce the recipe and you don't have to do the full 2 quarts of the apple cider that I did. But I am very happy with how this turned out, and I am very much enjoying all these adventures of trying out different fall recipes for this season. I love fall, so if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video.